Christina Young is a local author and has written books called My Feelings Journal, Write Your First Book in 30 Days, and Adventure Journaling, A Compass to Self-Discovery, as well as 5 other books. She is also a writing coach and helps aspiring authors write their first book in 30 days. Her secret to success is a 5 a.m. alarm clock, and she works on her book first thing in the morning. By breakfast, she has already accomplished her biggest goal for the day. She's also a recreational tree climber and is planning a trip to the Redwoods in California next March to climb a 200-foot sequoia tree. Christina is going to talk to us about how to get the confidence you need to work on your big dreams too. She tells me she's also going to give you the link to download one of her books as a thank you for inviting her today. Let's welcome Christina Young.
Hi everybody, I am so excited to be here. When Mr. Edwards invited me, I was trying to be like all cool, like, oh, sure, I'd love to come to the school and talk. But inside I was like, yes, I get to come talk to people. So thank you for inviting me and welcoming me here. How's that sound? Is that okay? Good there? All right, thank you. So I'm going to share a little bit about how writing has really been a good personal tool for me in growing and changing and developing, and a great breakthrough for some of the things I was telling myself and the way I was thinking about myself, and I'm going to share that with you too today, because I want you to boost your personal confidence as well. And that, for me, has really been the key to every big thing I've been able to accomplish, having confidence in myself. So I thought I'd start with a story. I'm supposed to start with a story. Does any of you know what recreational tree climbing is? Anybody heard of it? Everybody knows what tree climbing is, right? You just climb. Recreational tree climbing is where you wear a harness and a helmet and you climb up a rope. So, of course, as a kid, I loved free climbing. Free climbing is without a rope. And in our apartment building, in about 3rd grade, there was this big maple tree, and I was reading Nancy Drew at the time, right? So she's always investigating mysteries, and so I kind of imagined this big maple tree as my secret laboratory where I could observe the neighbors, and I would dress in green and brown so that I'd be camouflaged up there in the tree. And it gave me a great opportunity to kind of observe quietly and see what was going on around me. So recreational tree climbing, when I heard about it on TV about 3-4 years ago, I said, yes, I want to go down to Coney Island and figure out what this recreational tree climbing is. So you wear a harness, kind of like a rock harness, rock climbing, you step into it, and then you climb up this rope and you wear a helmet. So it's really nice to be able to kind of walk out on the branch and feel free. I finally got enough confidence to like swing off the branch, swing back, and stand up. It's a really, really cool thing to do. And then I found out that the people who were leading the recreational tree climb also have small group workshops for women who want to start their own businesses. And I'd always been a writer, and I was really interested in figuring out how can I help other people write their books. So I signed up for coaching, and that's been a really important part of me being able to go out and help other people tell their stories and write their books. So, let me catch up to my notes here. So, when I was 10, I started off writing poetry, and I'm sure it was a class assignment, and the teacher probably picked the poems and sent them into a statewide contest, and I happened to win first prize. Does anyone want to hear my poem? It's only 3 lines. Okay. The dark, starry night broke off like a dark, dark chocolate bar and repeated itself until the end of time. Right? Okay, not bad for a 10-year-old. I said the word dark a lot, but evidently it was okay. So then in 7th grade, our English teachers encouraged us to start keeping a personal journal. Have you guys had an assignment like that where you have to keep a journal? Has any of your teachers suggested that? The idea was not that we were going to bring it into class and share anything in there. The idea was that we could kind of explore our feelings, write down what had happened to us that day, and just kind of give us a safe place to be ourselves. And I think that's really important, to have a safe place just to be who you really are. So from that point on, I kept journaling, and I even journal now. I brought my journal to show you because I take it with me everywhere. It's just super easy thing from Meyer, 50 cents. And if you haven't started a journal, just pick one up. It could be a spiral notebook. What I always do is I leave the first page blank, and then I start writing on the second page, and you'll see I've got different color pens, and sometimes I write my to-do lists in here. Sometimes I think about why I didn't speak up or why I didn't really share my opinion. Sometimes I write down why I'm upset about things. So my journal's been helpful. And then when I leave my first page blank, once these pages are all filled, I'll go back and I'll number my pages and create a table of contents on that first page. So that way you can go back and find your notes, find things that you wanted to be able to reference and look up later. So super easy, highly suggested for you to do too. So that's my personal space to kind of rant and complain. And I know that every one of you here also has a story, whether you write it in your journal or you share it with friends. I know a lot of people say, I'm not a writer, I don't enjoy writing, so why would I keep a journal? So don't think of it as writing, just think of it as a nice place to just express what's going on with you. That's really important. All of you have already done a lot of amazing things. I know maybe you don't feel like you've done amazing things yet, but from my perspective, the outside looking in, I can see that this room is full of special people, and you've all got something amazing and exciting going on, and something big that you are meant to do. And you're probably each a little full of it, like maybe full of shenanigans, but you're also full of fun and interesting ideas. So that's a really important part of being who you are. Even if you had a sibling or a twin, your little brother or little sister is not going to have the same opinion on things that you have, because you've got your own perspective, your own opinion on how you see the world. And that's really important, and we want to hear from you. We want to hear about your opinion and your experience. We want to know what you're thinking and what you're doing. So that also means that the person next to you has something special that they can only do, and you have something different from them that only you can do. So no matter how hard your neighbor tries to do what you're doing, they're not going to do it the same as you, because you're you and they're them. So that's a really important part of feeling confident and understanding your personal mission, if you will, what you're meant to do here and the best way to carry out your big dreams and your big goals. There's really nobody else ever in the history of the world that's like you. You're the only one. So writing in a journal is one of the ways you can kind of figure out what your big dreams are, what your big goals are. And I've used my journal to keep myself out of trouble. Like if I can rant and rave there, maybe I can figure it out before I get myself into trouble. So journals are the place where nobody judges you. You can say whatever you want to and whatever you need to feel better. So just start trying it out and see how it makes you feel. Don't forget the learning curve, because just like anything new, when you start doing something, you may not be really very good at it, but the more you do it, the more you practice, the better you get, and the more fun it becomes, because now you're getting a little bit of skill as you do it. And I went through the same thing when I wrote my first book. I had a great idea. I wanted to write a book, but about a week in, totally lost steam, quit writing. I didn't have a plan. So I started studying. I said, well, okay, what goes into a book? You have to have a plot, right? Which is a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's all that plot really is. I had to have dialogue, so I had a conversation between characters and people in the book. And then I also had to have a conflict or a hook or something that drew us in. Like every action movie you've ever seen starts with some explosion and some big thing happening, right? It's not like, oh, there they are in second grade climbing trees. That's not what movies start like. So once I figured that out and I came up with a plan, I was able to practice writing in my journal. And as I got better at it, the more fun it was. So it'll be the same for you as you look towards things that you're interested in. use your journal as a place to note anything that inspires you, or you think like, hey, I'm going to try this big thing. Use your journal to help you figure out if that's something you should try. If it turns out that thing isn't as fun as you thought it would be, that's not a fail. That is something you just found out that wasn't your big dream. So that's considered a win. Now you know you can go in another direction. That's fine. We all go through ups and downs and figuring out what works and what doesn't work. So that's fine. So even though I've written books and I've helped other people write books, that hasn't been my biggest achievement. I think for me, just feeling confident has been the biggest key to getting things done in my life. Confidence means that I'm not afraid to try new things. It means that I don't let what other people think of me get in the way of doing what I want to do. It's not that I don't care. I do care. I want people to like me. I want to be accepted. I want to have friends. I want to be a part of a group. I think everybody feels that way. That's just part of being human. But I still want people's approval. I still want people to like me. So I have my own perspective on how I think things should be. Every one of you has your own perspective and opinion on how things should be in your life, and that's fine. I'm going to need this pen, don't fall off. But I have to say that I haven't always been supported by friends and family, right? You've probably had some interests that other people didn't agree with too. But I understand, my friends and family are trying to keep me from getting hurt. My perspective and my goals are something that I want to do. If they don't get it, if that isn't something that they're interested in, they may not be very excited for me because they think, oh, I could never do that. You're going to get hurt, Christina. You're going to fail. So I understand that they're just basically trying to protect me. Like, do any of you have a little brother, little sister, ever had a kitten, a dog, a houseplant, right? You feel a little bit protective towards that little wee one. You want to feed it, take care of it, keep it safe. So I understand that, maybe my parents weren't always super thrilled with things that I've tried and done, but I see now that they were just trying to prevent me from being hurt. Understandable. It makes sense now. So let me tell you how I got that confidence and how I still renew that confidence when I'm feeling a little bit low, because to be honest with you, I'm not 100% confident every day. And just so you know, every grown-up is not confident 100% of the time. We need to go back in and renew and refresh and build ourselves back up again. So let me tell you what I do. Here's the key to confidence. It's what I tell myself. Seems pretty simple on the surface. If I just say nice things to myself, does that mean that I'll be confident? No, because I know all that stuff isn't really true, right? I know if I'm lying to myself. So how do you move from feeling uncertain or afraid or concerned into feeling confident and having that confidence in yourself? Well, first you have to know that other people are more worried about themselves than they are worried about you. So when you feel like people are watching you, they're probably not. They're probably thinking about themselves. That helps. And what you believe about yourself is more important than what anybody else thinks about you. The only way that you're wrong about what you think about yourself is if you think you are anything less than strong, capable, and talented. Because you are all strong, capable, and talented. So, next page. Having that feeling of confidence is way more important than being born with straight teeth or an attractive face, okay? What you believe about yourself is always true unless you believe anything other than I am strong, I am capable, I am talented. You can choose to let go of any thoughts that don't serve you. A thought that serves you is something that makes you feel peaceful. So this is how I do it. I check in with my feelings. just notice what's happening inside of me. So can you do a quick scan? Just see what you notice about your feelings. And what you need to know about feelings is that feelings are not facts. Feelings are not facts. They are guideposts. They're little hints. They're trying to direct you towards something or away from something that's not helpful, that's not serving you. So the second thing to know about feelings is there is no right way to feel, which also means there's no wrong way to feel. You're not supposed to feel like anything. The way you feel is fine, and the way you feel is yours. That's the most important thing. So the third part of this is just try to check in and see what the feeling is trying to say to you. Are you safe where you are right now? That's always the first question. When you notice your feelings, am I safe? Am I physically safe? Am I in a place where I feel comfortable? If you're not, then move your body, ask for help, get yourself out of the situation where you're not feeling safe. So then, once you know that, you can make a decision about those feelings that you're noticing. If you feel peaceful, you can choose to let that feeling stay with you. Why is feeling peaceful our goal? Because that's when we feel confident. That's when we feel capable. We feel like we can do things we want to do. We're productive. We're ready to go. When I'm upset or angry, I can't get anything done. I'm just spinning around in a loop. I'm a mess. I'm distracted. Not helpful. So I have a little experiment to explain how this works. So imagine that you have a pen in your hand, and you're going to grip it tightly. Turn your hand over. What happens? Nothing, right? Because you're holding onto that pen. So what if you decided to open your fingers and let go of the pen? It drops. Okay. So now we're going to use that experiment on any feeling that makes us less than peaceful. This is really powerful. Try it, because it proves my point that what you believe about yourself is way more important than what anybody else believes about you. So once you know that you're safe, you can choose to let go of anything that upsets you. This will make you feel talented, strong, and capable. So here are 3 things to ask yourself. There's no right answer, okay? Simple yes or no questions to answer in your head. So check in with your feelings. If you're gripping that pen in your hand and you're not willing to open your fingers, you won't let go of the pen. If you have to let go of a thought that upsets you, would you be willing to let go of that thought? Could you let go of that thought? If the answer is no, that's fine. It's perfectly fine. Yes or no. Either way is fine. So if you answered yes to either one of those questions, the third question would be to ask yourself, when? When am I going to let go of that thought? That uncomfortable or upsetting thought. So when you feel anything less than peace, the 3 questions to remember are, would you let go of that thought? Could you be willing to let go of that thought? And when? So you might want to write those questions down, try it later. I usually run through those questions 3 or 4 times. Sometimes you'll notice it feels different, like it'll change how you feel about things. Sometimes it won't, and that's fine too. When I really start to notice my feelings, I was able to move through that unsettling part, the upset part, the uncomfortable things a lot faster. But I still sometimes get tripped up by judging myself. Like, I'm not supposed to feel that way. I'm not supposed to be angry. I'm not supposed to be impatient. I'm not supposed to be upset. But when I tell myself that, then I feel judgmental, and then I feel bad about myself. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to feel bad about myself. I don't think you want to feel bad about yourself either. So the point is, I was the one making myself feel bad by choosing to be hard on myself or choosing to hold on to those uncomfortable feelings. It's a choice that I made. And human beings are very creative in how they cope with stress, right? Like, our feelings are the guideposts that are trying to show us how to be peaceful. And the hundreds and thousands of thoughts that you have every day come from that creativity and that survival, will to survive. Every one of you is creative. So thoughts that make you feel peaceful are thoughts that serve you well. Thoughts that make you feel bad are not always bad for you. If something doesn't sit well with you, then take notice of it because it's trying to tell you something. Try to understand what it is trying to tell you. So a real life example would be somebody teases you, makes fun of you. You probably feel upset and hurt, and that's perfectly normal. You should feel upset and hurt. Should, right? It's fine to feel that way. Don't judge yourself for being upset about that. It's time to ask, are you safe? If you're safe, then you can ask the 3 questions. Would you be willing to let go of what doesn't serve you? Could you? When? Only you can decide what thoughts serve you. And when you can let go of the things that make you feel less than peaceful, you will feel confident. You'll be happier. And when you let go of judging yourself, you will be the very best you that you can be. So the most important things are the things that you tell yourself. So can I count on you to notice your feelings? Let them be your guideposts to feeling peaceful? I want nothing more than you being the best you that you can be. Thank you. So to wrap up, I just wanted to offer you a copy of my ebook called Adventure Journaling. It's on my website, and it's available for downloading. So my website is getyourbookStarted.com. GetyourbookStarted.com, and then you'll see there's a Goshen tab. Click on the Goshen tab, and you can download my book. Thanks again.